is not enough. Perhaps you have experienced this in life, or you've noticed in life that there are times when a good start is not good enough. I think this was brought home to me the other day as I watched the beginning of the NBA playoffs. And it started with the Cleveland Cavaliers, who had the best season record of any team in the NBA. Of course, the Cleveland Cavaliers had LeBron James, the unstoppable Iron Man. And they were paired with the Boston Celtics. And of course, the Boston Celtics were considered to be an older team, a slower team. And the Cleveland Cavaliers won 3 consecutive games, back to back. But the final winner had to win 4 out of 7. And Boston came from behind and beat the Cavaliers. And although the Cavaliers made a good start, sometimes a good start is not enough. Maybe you're not a sports enthusiast or an avid sports fan. Let's make it more practical and personal. Because we have a tendency to make good starts in life. We make a good start when it comes to diet and exercise. We make a good start when it comes to becoming financial free. We make a good start when it comes to enrolling in a university course. We make a good start when it comes to joining church. But as time progresses and time moves on, that diet does not bring us to our desired goal, and we step on the scale and see that we are heavier now than we were before we started the diet, although we made a good start. And when it comes to becoming financially free, we make a good start, but there's always this special sale item that we just have to charge and pay the minimum amount of the balance. And we end up paying 4 times that value of the thing that we purchased. And our credit rating goes down and our debt increases because we made a good start. But a good start is not always good enough. And when it comes to a course, yes, we have a desire to finish the course, but we fail to consider that the course requires reading several chapters, and there may be a midterm and a final test, and we may not like the professor's personality. And so rather than get a F for flunking, we get an I for incomplete, or we withdraw, although we made a good start. And when it comes to church, we're excited and enthusiastic, and we have fire until we rub shoulders with the wrong member, or something goes wrong, or there's something that catches our eye that we analyze and conclude is hypocritical. And we find ourselves looking for another church because we made a good start. By way of analogy, we are like the horses at the starting gate. And we hear the bell and we hear the sound and they're off. And we bolt out of the gate. But time passes and we realize that we have to go the quarter mile, and then the half mile, and then the 3/4 mile, and then the back stretch. And some of us never even place, although we made a good start. Or we like the sprinters in the Olympics. I mean, we're down on our point and we have our backs arched and there's adrenaline pumping and we're just waiting for the signals to go on your mark. And we arch our back, get set, and the gun goes off and we bolt out of the starting block. Only to huff and puff while others zoom past us, although we made a good start. And on this Father's Day, I want to suggest to all fathers in particular that it's so critical and important that you give your children a good start in life. But I want to caution you, a good start may not be good enough. That's what Solomon declares to us today, because Solomon had a good father. He wasn't a perfect father. Neither are you, neither am I. But he was a good father because the Bible says that God gave him the highest commendation. God said, even though he has his flaws, even though he's made some mistakes, even though he's messed up, he's a man after my own heart. And that ought to be the objective and goal of every brother in here and every man in here and every citizen in here who's a citizen of the kingdom, that you have a desire to hear God say one or two things. That's a person after my own heart. Or you hear God say, well done, good and faithful. Solomon had a good start because he had a good father. And David was present in the life of his son. He was present in the life of his son. And the media plays down the significance and the importance of a father being in the life of a child. They play it down, they diminish it. And yet, all sociological research and behavior studies indicate that there's a correlation between the absence of the father and high incarceration rates in the African American community. There is a correlation between violence and the absence of the father, and a correlation between aggression in our young boys and in our young girls because there's no father in their life. And there's a correlation between sexual identity issues because there's no man to model what a man really is in their life. And there's a correlation between violence and homicide and dropout rates because of the absence. And the media tries to play it down, but it's so important that if you're going to bring the child into the world, as a father, you have a responsibility to be there for the child. When I was growing up, my wife is here. She can tell you we lived on Gibbs Road in Gibbs, one of them, Gibbs Lane or Road, it was country, in Graysonville. The interesting thing about that, in our neighborhood, there were about 5 or 6 houses that surrounded us. But we were the only house that had a legitimate husband and wife in it, the only house that had a father in it. And yet all of the little kids would gather at our house, and they would play all day long baseball and ride their bicycles. And my wife would sometimes fix them lunch and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and the kids from the neighborhood ate at our house. And she'd give them tuna fish and Kool-Aid, and the kids from the neighborhood played at our house. And when we went to the carnival, that was a big thing. All the kids pile up in one car because they would come to our house. And I realized that I was a community father. Times have changed now, but there was a time when there was a man in the black community, and even though there wasn't a father present, there was somebody you could look up to and somebody that would stand in the gap